What's up everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are doing super awesome. So in my previous YouTube video, I kind of talked about how I wanted to keep my YouTube channel as a platform where we have conversations about things that people don't usually talk about. And I also wanted to share my life experiences with you, and hopefully in a way it will help you and provide a good starting point if you are in a similar situation. Okay, so in today's video, I kind of want to talk about how to monetize your passion. Now, for those of you who have not yet watched the first video, I highly recommend that. That's how to find your passion. I'll put the link in the description box as well. Now, this video is a continuation of that. So at this point, you found your passion, okay, and you're thinking of monetizing it, and that's a really good step. The difference between a passion and a hobby is the fact that for your passion, you actually get to monetize it, whereas your hobby is something that you do for fun. Now, I want to just make it clear that a hobby can become a passion. Your passion can revert back to being a hobby, okay? There's no hard and fast rule about that. You can just do whatever you want, do what feels right to you. Okay, now that we've got all that out of the way, let me start my story. So the thing is that when I first learned that I had a passion for marketing, it was, I can't even tell you, it felt like I could breathe again. However, I realized very quickly that there's a whole lot to marketing than just reading about it through the newspapers or through articles that you see. So that actually began me figuring out how to hone my skill in marketing. Okay, so I think that the first tip that I do have for you is, if you found your passion, I think the next step for you to take is to hone it as much as possible. Take time to either go for paid or free resources. Learn as much as you can about what it is that you are passionate about, okay? Because it's not just enough to have a passion for something. You also need to make sure that you are consistently and constantly learning. Even to this day, to be honest with you, especially since the beginning of 2022 and a little bit of the later part of 2021, I've been keeping Sundays just for me to learn. Just for me to learn. And I'm 2 years into my entrepreneurial journey. It's been 4 years since I started, on this marketing journey. And yet I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of things that I am still learning at this point. And I keep Sundays absolutely dedicated to that. When you are in the beginning stages of finding your passion and of course monetizing your passion, you're probably going to have to dedicate a little bit more time than that. Now, another thing that I found out is there are over 100 topics in marketing. However, my interest only lies in 8 or 9 areas. All right, so that took me a long time to figure out, to be very honest with you. I'd completed my MBA. I had done 1 year of working at a top solar firm. And when I started my consulting firm, that's when I realized that I had to narrow down my interests, okay? So for me, it was a little late, but I'm hoping that by sharing this with you, you're probably gonna figure it out a little bit sooner than I did, okay? So for me, when I first started with my entrepreneurial journey, I actually listed 23 areas of marketing services that I was going to offer. I'm not kidding. And of course, after 2 years of it, I've narrowed it down, because even in those 23 areas, even though they were under the umbrella of marketing, it was just not something that I was entirely passionate about. Like, I knew stuff about it, but that doesn't mean that I was passionate about it. So I narrowed it down to 8 or 9 areas that is my absolute passion, and I can just keep going. So I guess my tip for you at this point would be to narrow down. Even though you may have found your passion as a broad umbrella, narrow it down to few areas that you actually can continue long term. Yes, I love marketing. I read about marketing. I probably live, breathe, eat marketing. But at the same time, knowing that, like having that knowledge, that passion for knowledge and having the passion to monetize it are two very different things. And this is something that I learned through my 2 years of entrepreneurship, okay? So I'm just gonna say that again because I think that's the first time I've ever said that sentence, and I think that it's really good. Now, your passion for knowledge may not necessarily be the passion that you try to monetize, okay? The passion for these two are completely different. I have an absolute thirst and an absolute passion to grasp as much knowledge as possible when it comes to the other areas of marketing, but there are only a few areas that I'm passionate enough to monetize it. Okay, so that's a very clear distinction that you need to make in the areas of your passion. So at this point, you've kind of figured out, what is your passion? You've figured out the skills that you need, you're learning, you're doing all that awesome stuff. I think the next part of my journey was just understanding why I was so interested in my passion. Like, what was the difference I was going to make with my passion? Okay, and I think that's one of the most important things that I did, and it is also going to be super, super important for you to do, and that is figuring out what your mission is. Because I think that without a mission, you're probably just going to be doing whatever it is that you're doing without people understanding why you're doing it, and you yourself are not going to understand. If you don't understand, it becomes that much more difficult for you to sustain it long term, especially when you're trying to monetize your passion, okay? So I think that the first thing I did was understanding what was my mission. What difference is my passion going to make to the world? How is it going to make a difference to someone else's life? What transformation is my passion going to bring to their life? And the minute I figured this out, okay, it became that much more easier for me to monetize my passion. Okay, now I'm going to give you two different examples, but I think that it might help you at this point to understand. So at one point, okay, we have someone who's really interested in, let's say, sustainable practices. Okay, ethical and sustainable practices. This is a topic that they're really, really passionate about. They probably incorporate zero waste living and all of those amazing stuff that people do. Okay, and their mission is probably at this point, if they want to monetize this passion, it would be to transform the lives of people around them so that they become more conscious in the way they are living. Right? So that becomes their mission. And when you incorporate it as your mission, it becomes that much more easier for you to sustain it long term. And one of the ways that you can monetize this direction of your passion is by brand sponsorships, by highlighting brands that are very, very integral to conscious living and all of those things, okay? So that is one way that you can monetize. I just want to put it out there that there are a lot of ways that you can monetize your passion. You have to find one that's right for you, for your area, for your niche, for your passion, and of course, it is also heavily dependent on your strengths as well, all right? Another way, another passion that I see is, let's take me for example. My passion is marketing. I am making a career out of it, right? For me, my mission is to empower business owners across the world to confidently implement marketing strategies for their business. And that is the core mission of me, of my business. And that's the way I monetize it with my consultations, Every time I show up on social media, on my podcast, on, even my blog for that matter. Yes, my main mission there is so that people are empowered, business owners are empowered to confidently implement long-term marketing strategies. Now, different ways that I have monetized my passion is through brand sponsorships, is also, yes, through my consultation, my consultancy firm by itself. I've also opened an Etsy shop that follows the same mission. Okay, so there are different ways that you can monetize your passion. You have to find a route or routes that work for you personally. Okay, so that I guess would be my next tip for you. Now again, after I decided that I wanted to monetize my passion and I was opening up my own consultancy firm, I realized as a marketer, I obviously knew this, is that I had to show my passion. I just had to, whether it was starting my podcast or starting this YouTube channel or showing up on Instagram. It is important that you show your passion. You show people why you are so passionate about whatever it is. That's the only way that you can attract them to you. Because if you don't show your passion, they're probably never gonna know it. It's as simple as that, guys. So showing up is an integral part of monetizing your passion. Now, it's not always necessary that you have to show your face. I know that some people may not be very comfortable with that. There are different ways to show up, okay? You can start a blog. That is you behind your computer, typing away, expressing your passion. That works as well, okay? There are so many different ways. For me, podcast is a way where, you can show up, but it's just your voice. You don't really have to show your face over there. On Instagram, you can do reels where you're not physically present, but you are showing bits of your passion. Like, for example, if you are into sketching, okay, maybe you want to show your sketches. There's so many different ways that you can show up without showing your face. Though, as a marketer and as a content creator, I highly do recommend, at least starting to get comfortable showing your face to the world. Because at some point in the future, not now, but in the future, people will want to connect your passion to you, your face, who you are, your personality, your body language, all of those things, okay? So even if you are not comfortable at this point, make sure that you start getting comfortable. Take small steps, absolutely, baby steps, but just make sure that you are heading towards showing up for your passion at some point. Okay? Now, one of the thoughts that, kind of was worrying me when I first started was, is there going to be a market for my passion? And I think that as a marketer, yes, I was doing my research and all of those things. But if you ask me, I think that you will always find a market for your passion. You just need to understand what your fundamental mission is. Okay? And the minute you understand how your passion can transform the lives of people around you, you will find a market for it. Now, at this point, I'm telling you, yes, your fears, your concerns are absolutely legit. They are valid. However, I also do want to tell you that there will be people who will be attracted to what you are passionate about. Okay, maybe they are attracted to your personality, maybe they're attracted to the way you show your passion. There's so many different ways, guys. You may be an artist, you may do the same sketch as probably someone else does, but there is something unique that you bring to the table, and there will be people interested in that. And if you have that confidence in yourself, in your skill, in your passion, becomes that much more easier for you to overcome any of the further obstacles that may be there in the future, okay? And I think especially with when it comes to passion, okay, it's very difficult to say, oh my God, I'm the best, or this person's the best, or this person's super awesome. No, there are a lot of factors that come in. Your personality, the unique touch that you give, maybe your voice, maybe the way you show up, maybe the way you are passionate about things, your, the fierce passion that you show. There are so many different things that people get attracted to. And I truly believe that by showing up as your authentic self, it actually attracts the right people to you. Okay, so I guess that's another tip that I do have for you that personally has worked for me, and that is showing up authentically. And then I have, I think, the last tip. And when I first started out, it's a funny story. I, of course, told everyone I knew that, I was getting into marketing and I was starting my own business, and I'm a marketing consultancy firm now and all of those things. But my mom, my mom would actually tell even the vegetable seller, any person she met on the street, she would just tell them. And I think I learned a very important lesson, and that is tell everyone you know. It doesn't matter if that person may or may not be interested in your passion, but just let them know, okay? And let me tell you that for the first 1.5 years, I didn't see any difference that people knew or something like that. It was only in my second year that I actually started getting recommendations from people. Like people would say, hey, this girl's awesome, she's doing marketing, I think you should reach out to her and stuff like that. So it probably won't work for the first 1.5 years. It takes some time for people to understand what it is that you're doing as well, and it takes some time for people to acknowledge that this is your passion and you are going to do it long term, right? I mean, we've heard so many people who say, yes, I'm gonna do it, and then not do it. So you need to give them time as well. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't stop telling people, and tell every single person you know. If you are hiding and doing it, chances are not many people are going to know about what you are passionate about. They can't recommend people, or they can't even use your passion to help benefit their own life. Okay, so yes, tell every single person that you know. And I guess that brings me to the end of this video. Just as a side note, I guess I would say that it is not easy monetizing your passion. I want to acknowledge that. I want to acknowledge that there have been times where I've been really, really low and I've struggled to monetize my passion. I want to acknowledge that. But at the same time, understanding what my fundamental mission is has really helped me sail through those low points. And there are going to be a lot of low points. There are going to be some days where you wake up and you ask yourself, why am I doing this? And I think that it's important to have an answer for yourself during those low moments. I really, really think so. And for me, my mission is the reason why I get up in the morning. It's the reason why, as a business owner, I have infinite amount of time, but at the same time, I'm making sure that I'm using it towards my passion, towards propelling, monetizing my passion. Especially when you are monetizing your passion, you are your own boss in that sense. And having a mission really, really helps. And yeah, if you have watched all the way up until this video, I know that you are absolutely super serious about monetizing your passion. Definitely let me know in the comments below, what it is that you are passionate about. I really want to read more about it, and if I can give you some thoughts and insights onto how you can go about monetizing it, I would be happy to comment to your comment as well. Okay, so definitely definitely let me know in the comment section below. Alrighty guys, if you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, as I give more videos on conversations that we don't really talk so much about, but are important in terms of living the best life. Alrighty guys, thank you so much. Just as a personal update, I guess I would say, we're all under quarantine at the moment. My parents have tested positive, but they're doing well. And I have not shown any symptoms so far. I mean, I thought I did, but then it just went away the next day, so I'm not sure what's up with that. We're all under quarantine, but hopefully, I've been really stressed out, to be honest, very, very stressed out. But I'm hoping that things get better soon in terms of my personal front. Professional front, everything's going normal. Client work, I'm doing a podcast. If you haven't checked out my podcast, definitely do. I give business marketing and mindset tips to business owners. Other than that, what else? Yeah, it's been pretty normal in terms of my professional front, but on a personal front, things have been a little bit stressful, a little bit crazy, but yeah, I'm hoping it gets better soon. Alrighty guys, I'll catch you in my next video, okay? I'll give you more updates. Bye-bye.